this is Mauro. I see a lot of people hitting the one-handed backhand and having trouble. Sometimes we turn in, some of the people that I teach, I have a couple of students that they have a beautiful one-handed backhand, but sometimes they struggle a little bit with hitting the ball clean and controlling that shot, mostly hitting a lot with the frame. I emphasize a lot on them on what I call the Jesus Christ forehand. When you hit that forehand, guys, we see that ball coming, so I start turning right away, and I want to think about my shoulders, right turn, my knuckles, eyes on the ball. And the moment I make contact, I see a lot of people doing this part here. They're turning their hips or they're turning with their feet. So you gotta think of when you're gonna hit that backhand, one-handed or two-handed, you wanna think about it like, okay, I turn and I settle my feet on the ground. Once I settle my feet on the ground, one or two-handed, guys, one or two-handed, you set your feet on the ground. When you pull the trigger and you swing, your left foot is like an anchor. If you lift the anchor from a ship, what's going to happen? It turns. It's gonna lose control. It's gonna start moving with the current, right? The whole thing. So that's what happens to the body when we hit the backhand. If we lift the back leg, the left one, your whole body is gonna turn. So your shot, instead of going through the ball two-handed or one-handed, what happens is that you end up, you don't go through the ball straight that way. You end up hitting to the side. That's why we miss hit. If you have seen in my videos, I emphasize a lot on keeping your eyes on the ball and settling down, your feet on the ground when you pull the trigger. So when you hit it there, once you swing, guys, you want to make sure you keep that left foot in place. You can relax it, and it can come a little bit around. Doesn't mean that it's gotta be that your foot is gotta be completely on the ground like this. You know, you can lift it and you can turn a little bit, but you don't want to let that foot come around you, because then that's when we get in trouble turning. So that's one thing you want to pay attention. The other one is when we hit, when I swing it, it's not only my foot that I want to pay attention. Look where my hips are, the left hip. So if I turn that way, I swing, and I want to finish forehand or backhand, my hip on the one-handed forehand and the one-handed backhand, my hips are gonna turn just a little bit, but they're gonna pretty much align. You don't want it to open too much. If you're two-handed, they're gonna turn a little more, but that's one thing that you want to pay attention to: your hips and your left foot. If you're one-handed, you want to end up with those hips almost just barely turning a little bit there. You end up with the Jesus Christ here, but you don't want to end up with the Jesus Christ to the front, because that's when you're going to end up hitting that way. No, you want to end up with the Jesus Christ more a little bit to the side. It could be towards the net post or a little less, but you definitely be careful opening too much here. If you're one-handed, your hips are going to turn a little more, but you want to pay attention to the back foot. You don't want to let it come around. Now, for the one-handed backhand, guys, if I see the ball coming, one thing that to control hitting the ball clean and generating as much power, guys, believe me, as much power as you want on that shot, that's the one thing that helped me return those high balls on the return of serve or during the rallies, but especially in the return of serve, pretty much at will. Like finally, that's the one thing that gave me, I felt that I had the power to hit that ball. Was like, if I see the ball coming, what I do is, one, I turn my shoulders. More than turning, guys, you want to feel like your right shoulder, you're going to point towards that ball and leaning there a little bit. Coming, boom, I'm ready here. This is ready position, guys. That's what you wanna keep in your head. Ready position is not this, or turning and keeping the racket here, which a lot of people do. No, bring the racket back. Relax and bring the racket back. This is ready position. Ready position, already waiting here. Moving, 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 moving. Settle and go. So, I see the ball coming, the one-handed backhand. I turn well to the side, facing the fence. And I think the mental picture you want to make is this. That's how you want to look when you make contact. You see this angle there? That's what you want. That's what you want to, how you want to look. You hit, contact there. Of course, you probably want to be a little more open. But the importance here is you want to pay attention to this. And one thing that you want to find out is your sweet spot. My sweet spot personally is my grip aligned pretty much with my hips here. Yours is probably gonna be a little closer or a little closer this way. Careful with that, not too close to the body so you have it in front of you, or too far out. Careful here. It's gonna be somewhere around here where you can easily swing. So I turn sideways, I just think turn, swing. And I think about this position, guys. This is the mental picture I make on my backhand. If I settle my feet on the ground and I pull the trigger here, I can hit that ball with as much power as I want, as much spin as I want, and I don't miss it. I hit it clean all the time. Of course, keeping my head still, as I always mentioned before. But remember that, guys. Ball is coming, and you want to feel this. You want to feel that extension opening the Jesus Christ towards the side fence here. Coming, and I make contact here. I want to look, and I'm going to let that racket come all the way around, and I end up kind of thinking, sticking my chest out. One tip really quick is, a lot of people hit, and they end up here, guys. Or even higher, but the racket kind of standing there. Sometimes that's because you're too stiff. Let it swing all the way around. Whenever you can, let it go all the way around. When you stop it there, you're slowing down. The acceleration of the racket is not going to give you as much spin. That's one of the things that's going to give you tons of spin on the backhand. Stopping the racket early. No, from here to here, you slow it down. Let it go all the way, guys. All the way. One hand, two hands. That's going to give you the spin. That's what's going to help you. What's going to help your shot, that ball not to fly long. Kick in. Okay, guys? So remember, think about the Jesus Christ in the forehand on the one-handed backhand here. You want to look there, boom, and here, sticking your chest out. If you're two-handed, you do the same thing. Bring it all the way around and pay attention to the anchor of your body. That back foot, if you're a righty like me, is the left one. That's gonna be your anchor, and your hips, guys. Careful with this, okay? Careful with moving those legs around, because the whole ship is gonna move. It's gonna mess up your shot. Okay, guys? All right, I hope it helps. If you have any questions, let me know. And remember, when you go out there and play, stay centered and be bold and fight it, guys. Fight it. Be perseverant. Okay? I'll see you next time.